Alright, everyone, Hirogaru Sky episode 25 was pretty interesting, I have to say. Not only did we get a new villain, who is pretty interesting as I can see, but we also get to see more that, of Elle-chan growing up. And so the episode begins with the next day, and Ellie's having breakfast, but Mashiro is worried that maybe since now they know that, Elle-chan is the child of destiny, that she should be pampered. What's good for her and not. So, should she be luxurious, or should she just do the same thing, too? And, Sora's, saying, oh, no, it's okay, we'll be fine, we'll just do the same thing we always did. And then she started panicking about the same thing when it came to, outfits and stuff. And then when, Tsubasa just walks in with a football, outfit on, it's just, funny, and then they just join him in the end, and Agaha's just looking at this, what the heck are you guys doing? That was funny. But in this episode, they go to the zoo, and it's called Shorishiro Nature Park. Why does that sound like a certain Japari Park? Or a Jurassic Park with dinosaurs. You know which I'm talking about. But yeah, they go to the zoo and they see lots of animals like capybaras, zebras, giraffes, elephants, and lions. And it also seems that Elle-chan has revealed a new power that she can do. She can talk to animals. Telling them, that they want to, sleep with the lions and, the capybaras that they wanted to be fed. That was pretty interesting to see. Oh yeah, and as they were also talking about the certain animals, they also mentioned that the animals do exist in Skyland, of course, but they have a different color scheme. For example, the zebras are white and blue, instead of their black and white color. So that's kind of interesting, I guess. Blue zebras, you didn't see that coming. Or a blue cow. What? The blue cow kind of looks like a certain cow mascot that I seen on a milk cart once, or whatever that cheese thing is called. I like that way too much for sometimes. I may not have a problem with some dairy products. Ice cream's so delicious. Anyway, back to the review. But anyway, so as we get into the episode, they all have lunch and they talk about the thing again. That Agaha was telling them that they were overthinking about, how they should treat Elle-chan. And this is also, a fact for parents, too. Okay, so what I was talking about, because I got interrupted. Oh yeah, they were talking about, a little parent tip that, basically, they always, a parent would, with the child, basically, would, in this sort of case of Elle-chan, in this case that they were overthinking of his next thing, what is good for her, what should I give her to eat, and all that stuff about having lessons and stuff. Agaha told all this, and that was a good teaching. And of course, she would know all of this because she is the adult carer in the group. And so she was able to tell the younger team members about how this works. And it was a good lesson, especially for if there was young parents even watching the episode too. Lily, I'm around Agaha's age, and I agreed with her completely. It was nice to see that touch in the show. But now we should talk about the new villain, Minoton, the Minotaur warrior. And, his design, kind of looks familiar. We'll get into that later because they actually did mention it in the episode. But yeah, Minotaur, claims to be, a strongest warrior. And I was okay, so this is their new villain. He looks like Kapitan and all that stuff. But no, he definitely, fits into a different mold than other villains. How do I put this about the villains and characters of Hirogaru Sky Pretty Cure in general? They're definitely changing the mold for the Pretty Cure series, definitely. I've never seen this in Pretty Cure for technically for a long time, or to be a standing part of the personality and not for that specific episode. Although we haven't only seen Minotaur on for this one episode so far, we're going to see more of his character, and I'm definitely looking into his personality because I'm starting to like it. He's calm and also serious, but proud of being a warrior. As then again, when they were at the petting zoo, his presence literally made the animals at the petting zoo scared, even though he was not in the vicinity of them. But when the Pretty Cure, like, met up with him, that's when, like, Mashio mentioned how he represent Kabaton. And he was not happy being mentioned about Kabaton because Kabaton, to him, obviously, by the antics that he did, even though I don't really like Kabaton that much, I will give him the comedy part that he did was perfect and funny. Like, the fart joke was not expected in the first episode. Welcome to heaven. Yep. Speaking of flashbacks, we'll get into that later. But yeah, so he turns a Saurus that they call it. It's a Pterosaurus T-Rex, a mascot of the park, into a Ranborg to attack the Pretty Cures. And he was looking, and his goal was basically like when he's attacking a Pretty Cures. It's not about Elle, but like kind of like Batamona was, but mostly to like have like warriors that can best him. And so that seems to be what his main goal is, in not also like capturing reality in the process. And of course, the Cures were having trouble defeating the T-Rex Ranborg for like mostly the part. And then I saw like Wing was using the mirror pad to learn more about the Pterosaurus Rex. And I know there's going to be, like, an episode, like, for the mirror pad of them, like, learning it. And that's the episode after the next one that's coming this next Sunday. The first episode for August. So we'll probably get more of, like, how the mirror pad works in that episode. But anyhow, let's get back to the episode 25. Is when, like, because of all the crashing, a rabbit got out of its enclosure, and Elle went to go rescue it. And the T-Rex Ranborg went after her, but then, like, Minoton stopped it himself. That is interesting from this character. That's what I said about, like, his personality being interesting. Like, he doesn't let the Ranborg hurt a child, the child, who is his Elle-chan being the baby. And he's very clear on that he only wants the Ranborg to attack the Pretty Cures and leave the child out, being Elle again. That's where, like, I saw, like, his personality is definitely different from Kabaton, obviously, but that he's not really cocky or, like, sadistic like Batamona. He's definitely, like, serene and serious about his mission, but takes pride in his part as a warrior. So far, that's what I like about his character. And of course, they were able to defeat the Ranborg, and he just left with, like, a nod and all that stuff. What also was in this episode is that Elle-chan was actually learning everything from the Cures from the beginning and the start. As she, like, as Sky found out while they were fighting the Ranborg, when she mentioned about, like, what happened in episode 1, where she said, "Let's go home." Or when Mashio created the picture book, she made a friend at the ending with one of the girl, with a little baby girl and her father, who was like showing her a rabbit. Very interesting. And so that's mostly like how they knew this, that she's been learning from the start of like and she's growing up, and they definitely agreed that like how they've been like caring for her. It's definitely like helping her, and they're definitely like looking like a big family here, definitely for sure. And so that is my review for Hirogaru Sky Pretty Cure episode 25. It was a nice, pleasant episode, and I really am starting to like Minoton in this. And I definitely would like to see more of his character, because he's definitely looking like more of an interesting villain, because like not really we don't even know like the evil villain, what they are doing, what she is. But we'll probably like get to know her more. Like I don't really like how they're like they're fast paced, but it's definitely like they're just like going but well, how do I put this? It's like, it's not normal, like, seeing just, like, one villain at a time to be met when they're, like, always, like, in the first part of the, like, episode, and they're, like, layers or something like that with all the other villains and the main villain. But they're definitely, like, changing it up in here. And it's definitely putting a lot of suspense, like, who is the main villain of Hirogaru Sky Pretty Cure. We won't know until then. But anyhow, that's how I'm gonna end it right here. And I need to get some sleep because it's 10:11 at the time I'm recording this. Yeah, 10:11 p.m. because, like, I was having, like, a wonderful day this Sunday, so I recorded late. And so that's basically it. Yeah, see ya. Alright, that's it. Bye.